Alright, I'm ready to talk Kagenta. Kagenta is, Genta's Kagero-like form. So I got all Kagenta'd out for this. Can't wait. He doesn't keep the visual look this episode? Why did I expect consistency? Look, y'all. If y'all didn't think Yukimi was crazy before this episode, like I called out previously, it gets cemented in this one. So, after his quick wardrobe change, it appears that Genta's now taking down all of Noah. Not looking like 3 minutes have passed since he last left, Boo and Yukimi head out to confront him, as a very willing Masumi stands by waiting for his end. Boo-san and Yukimi make their way to try and snap Genta back, though it's almost as if his previous transformation with Vail was just for show, because he's not acting like Vail in the suit. Yukimi's plea to Genta makes him undo his transformation. Looks like it's all over. Wait, Akadiyama shows up to kill off Genta, but not before Vail shows just how cruel he can be. Y'all, if Vail was this raw from the get-go, why the fuck was he holding back in the main show? The final confrontation is Genta v Vail. Though, at what cost? Vail reveals that if he dies, so does Genta. Someone might want to tell that to Aguilera before she kills off Sakura's dad. With that being said, he goes ahead and transforms without the need of the demon. Though, this significantly weakened him. In order to help out Genta, Masumi pulls out the demon's driver. But Genta is in it to kill it, with some very nice fight choreography and a finishing rider kick that just works for him. Defeating Vail, Genta lays there as he starts to fade. That's when Masumi decides to become the self-sacrifice, using the demon's driver to absorb Vail, and in that process, taking in the red-hot fire of this collection. I guess that means that in modern day, he's looking like Anakin Skywalker under that mask. In order to protect Genta from future threats, they go ahead and change his face without asking him. And for Yukimi, they just delete her info. When Genta awakens, it's clear he has amnesia from the event. But that's when Yukimi gives him the falsehood of them being married. At the rubble of Noah base, an immortal Akaishi finds the demon's driver. And end. So, I'm making this not only an episode review, but an overall review for the Vail series as a whole. This episode is probably one of the weakest ones, as the ending felt rushed and needing a little bit of a longer runtime, or a better lead up. This episode by itself gets a B. As a whole, it averages as an A. So, I'm gonna stick with that to be kind. Now, honestly, if this was released as a singular special, as in just one long thing, it would probably end up ranking much lower. But I'm not going to judge it for that basis. Yukimi's selfishness really is made abundantly clear with this episode. The ending visual really shows that her marrying Genta was really just a dream, as it never happens. At least not within the context of this show. It's clear that Yukimi is the dominant person, forcing this relationship and making Junpei / Genta feel like this is something that he wants, as they have a lack of a shared family. But as the 4th episode revealed, it was actually Genta that was responsible for his own family's death. As such, he's really just taking Yukimi at face value. The relationship as a whole just doesn't work. It's something Genta thinks that he wanted, but they had, 24, 36 hours together? That's kind of fucked up. Now, Junpei / Genta as a character is someone that is manipulated from start to finish. From being given a false interpretation to his memories to drive his revenge, to feeling caged into a relationship he thinks he needed. Sure, I guess you can say that it worked out, but I would say Genta's decisions were never his own. He was either led by Noah, Yukimi, or Vail. Akadiyama's build-up to being the big bad was used as just a quick end from Vail, and Vail was uncharacteristically way more raw in this special than the whole of Revice. But I get it. Gotta tame the show down for the kids. That's the negatives that I have for this. Now, the positives in terms of this special as a whole really stems in terms of the story of Noah and the origins on how the Gifu projects began, and its greater world building. Excavating the Gifu coffin and stamp lead to the foundation of Noah, and thus using Gifu's O parts, out of place objects, in order to create a large, powerful military force. They created 70 failed experiments, or devils, from this. Now, it's implied that after Junpei's successful adaptation to the Gifu cells, that he was tasked with defeating them all. Now, it's unknown if they were actually all destroyed or not, so it can serve as a future plot point that a few devils did survive for over 20 years, and if that had any change to their physiology. That would be cool to revisit in a future V cinema. Let's say if they wanted to do a current version of Genta Vail special. I don't know if I'm misremembering or not, but I do feel that this special does end up retconning some of George's statements earlier in the series. However, in this special, we not only have the one Vice stamp, but there are two drivers coming from this. The specials in themselves are a nice condensed story that ultimately seem to play only a minor interaction with the main show. So you don't have to watch the Revice show to enjoy Vail. And if anything, I would say that knowing what I do of the main show actually hurts the special, as it's just great by itself. I really just wish that the finale had a better build-up and Noah wasn't just an abandoned warehouse set. Either way, it is of my opinion that this is probably the best content of Revice that's been produced, and it's a shame that it was as short as it was. So what are your thoughts on Kamen Rider Vail as a whole? Yukimi and her nature seeming the way that I described. Agree or disagree with any of the points that I've made? Either way, that's it for me. I'll go ahead and catch you all on the next one. Until then, bye.